Here we are. This is our location, miles and miles from the ocean. 8.2 million gallons in the middle of Atlanta, filled with aquatic life. Life as large as buses and as old as dinosaurs. I didn't create this dream, this vision. I, like the animals, just happen to be in it. A land-walking organism surrounded by deep blue water, with the wonders of nature enclosed. As an aquarium, these animals are ambassadors to our world. They connect us with the mysteries of water and inspire imagination of just how complex and beautiful all life forms can be. The journey begins at the beginning of primitive life. This species, being 500 million years old, has endured ice ages, asteroids, the ebb and flow of destruction and life. Although named horseshoe crabs, these animals are more akin to scorpions, spiders, and ticks. Complete with 10 eyes and 10 legs, they will often link together, giving the illusion of a larger animal. One theory is they do this to deceive their main predators, the only animal capable of breaking their helmet-like outer layer, sharks and sea turtles. Their tails serve no other purpose than to act as a rudder and a prop, to turn them when they're upside down. They are a tangible link between present and ancient. If intelligence were measured by sustainability and survival, through the hostile and pristine consequences of time, then the horseshoe crabs are the smartest of all. What I consider the grump of the ocean, seen here, is the black sea bass. It can grow up to 2 feet, but most specimens will rarely exceed 15 inches in length. Older and larger females of this species will actually change sex to become breeding males. Here is a young giant grouper. And shrimp. Forbs sea stars. And a hermit crab. The cold waters of the ocean will be explored now. Strawberry anemone and a decorator crab cling to a rock. Japanese spider crabs, living over 100 years and growing to the size of a car, move like distant aliens. Found in the Arctic and subarctic waters, belugas swim among icebergs and ice floes. They lack dorsal fins, as it would greatly impede the whale's ability to swim under ice. It must swim close to the underwater ice shelf to locate breathing holes. An extremely social animal. They live in groups called pods. In these pods, they'll hunt, breed, and migrate. The cohesive social groups consist of 2 to 25 individuals, usually led by a single large male. The beluga is quite vocal and has earned the nickname sea canary. At least 11 different vocals have been documented: resonant high-pitched whistles, squeals, clucks, mews, chirps, trills, and bell-like tones. During sound production, the beluga whale's melon changes shape. Besides vocalizations, the beluga whale may communicate through facial expressions and physical contact. In the family of seahorses, adaptation in its course is obvious in the leafy sea dragons. With its ingenious leaf-like fins and frilly appendages, it has created the perfect camouflage among seaweed and seagrass beds. Complementing the leafy sea dragons is the weedy sea dragon and the many-armed sunstar.
I'd like to be under the
This is Gracie, the 9-year-old female sea otter. Curious and playful, she can hold her breath underwater for up to 4 minutes. Insulating her in the cold waters of the Pacific is her thick coat, the thickest of all mammals, with about 1 million hairs per square inch.
I'd ask my friends to come and see an octopus's garden with me. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. We would be warm below the storm in our little hideaway beneath the waves, resting our head on the seabed in an octopus's garden near a cave. We would sing and dance around because we know we can't be found. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus.
Not far from Gracie are the Californian sea lions, known for their intelligence, playfulness, and noisy barking. It is a very social animal, and groups often rest closely packed together at favored hangout sites on land or float together like rafts on the ocean surface. Caring, they'll sometimes adopt and foster a pup that has been abandoned by its mother.
We would shout and swim about the coral that lies beneath the waves.
The African penguin is found on the southernmost coast of Africa. Unlike the penguin stereotype, this species lives in warm climates between 40 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. These birds pair bond for life, the ideals for romantic loyalty. Both parents sit on the nest and tend the young, relieving each other daily. After hatching, chicks are fed by both parents for up to 3 months. Unfortunately, these beautiful birds' population is down 90% for the last 60 years. The biggest threats are oil spills, overfishing, and natural competition. In the tropical regions of the ocean, an array of color floods life, like the small worm eels and the fish around the coral reef. One of the many mysteries of the ocean are the jellies. The jellyfish is a misnomer, considering they do not share characteristics of a fish. This rhythmic species is composed of 94 to 98% water. The jellyfish lacks a brain and basic sensory organs. The jellies drift and are passive feeders, eating zooplankton, which is caught in their tentacles. The most common jelly is the moon jelly. lagoon jellies. Along the expanses of coral reef, one can find the black-tipped reef shark. It is one of the few sharks that can jump completely out of the water. Countless numbers of colorful fish live in and around coral reefs. They are the rainbows of the underwater kingdom, with small fish often overlooked that possess vibrant fluorescence and hues. The tropical locales are not the only possessor of color. Here are African cichlids found in fresh waters. Freshwater fish come in many assortments. The electric eel is capable of generating 650 volts, used for both hunting and self-defense. The animals will rise to the surface and gulp air about every 10 minutes before returning to the bottom. About 80% of their oxygen is acquired this way. group of carnivorous freshwater fish, the piranhas. Generally, the piranhas pose no threat to humans. Natives swim in piranha-infested waters without any attacks. However, like sharks, they are capable of detecting minuscule amounts of blood with an acute sense, and are able to seek ailing prey, for this reason, to feed. Is 100 feet long and etches under 6.2 million gallons of water. This exhibit was specially designed to house whale sharks along with tens of thousands of other animals that typically live along a coral reef or in open water. Cow-nosed ray can be seen swimming as a flock of birds fly. In the wild, they have been observed swimming in schools of over 10,000. At a maximum length, they can be 5 feet from wingtip to wingtip. They are gentle creatures. They only use their stingers in self-defense, usually against sharks. pack of the groupers, the introverts of the sea. The species is considered an ambush predator, like the black sea bass, and can grow up to 9 feet in length and weighing up to 880 pounds. They feed off a variety of marine life, including small sharks and young sea turtles. Rarity in the ocean swims by, the bow-mouthed guitarfish. The humphead wrasse, also known as Napoleon wrasse. Sawfish. In the middle of Georgia, one will be amazed to find the gentle and slow filter-feeding giants that swim by. The whale shark is by far the largest fish. The greatest length ever officially recorded was 39 feet. However, there have been accounts of a whale shark being 59 feet in length. Still, little is known about these fish, and their breeding habits are obscure. Its estimated lifespan is between 60 to 150 years. 4 whale sharks swim in this ocean environment: Ralph, Norton, Alice, and Trixie. The females were recently added in hopes that their reproduction could be studied in captivity. It is important to be aware of all facets of life on Earth to the best of our ability. By reading, watching, listening, and learning, the world can become a familiar place, and what isn't familiar becomes not intimidating, but an object of pure wonder. My last week working at the aquarium, when the doors were closed and the fish swam in silence, I realized how rare and special these animals were to me. And in filming, I fulfilled what Cousteau reassured, protecting that in which I love.